So we are already closing in on the middle of the month of January, and given that we are getting very close to the 20th, we are beginning to witness a lot of actors out there, and actresses even, really getting very defensive about their overall political views and how so many of those within the general public are opposed to the political views coming from the actors, actresses, directors, writers, producers, and comedians that are getting very defensive, very angry and toxic toward not just the public, but also toward their very own fans that are walking away from their work in droves. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, one actor in particular is that we know Will Ferrell has been going off the rails a couple of times within the past, like, 2.5 weeks, especially after his appearance at the LA Kings game, by the way, looking very disheveled, looking very angry, and just down. And one thing that we know about Will Ferrell is that he says, by far, one of the most absurd things out there. He, too, got involved in a political commercial that talked down not just the general public, but also his very own fans. Very similar to the backlash that George Clooney and Julia Roberts got after engaging in a political commercial as well. Well, here we have it again, Will Ferrell going off in light of all of the drama happening across the country when it comes down to the current status of the film industry and all of the media that's really just going down in a lot of financial issues, and it's also going through a lot of other factors that are contributing to a lot of their problems. Now, what's interesting about this is that with the entire woke media now doubling down on their agenda, just 1 week from January 20th, one monumental development going on now involves more to do with Will Ferrell and his most recent tirade, where he seemingly shows how he is coping with a new president taking office. Ferrell delivered the following: "I just can't believe that we are now 1 week away from madness that's going to take over. If you know me, I have made my view on politics very clear, and so many of my family members and even friends have advised me to not say this, but I think it's only right for me to go ahead with that and what I have to say anyway. This man that's going to take office is going to destroy the lives of so many artists. So many comedians or even comedians like myself are going to be restricted with the type of material that we are going to be able to present in both film and television. Artistically, actors, I think, are going to have a very difficult 4 years, and potentially beyond, and I have shared and agreed with others' views that fall into the same line of work as I am. But we need to protect both the media and this wonderful industry that one side of the country is trying to utterly destroy. And they have already been successful on some level, which will only take away any motivation left for some upcoming talent that wants to actually have a shot at this business. Throughout all the years of making people laugh, I think it's disingenuous when followers of the new president say that they are all for free expression, when they just want us actors silenced. They just want to try and come across as the good guys to make celebrities the bad guys. Just because someone has fame and fortune and so happens to have a different politics or different political views than yours does not make them crazy. For me to say that the media should be trusted and protected, how is that crazy? I got a lot of flack for saying that, and I can't quite understand why. Now guys, let me just say one thing about Will Ferrell. He can't quite understand why he got a lot of flack for protecting the media is crazy, right? That's exactly why a lot of these celebrities are getting a lot of flack, is because they go ahead and say things like this. The fact that they don't understand why the majority of the American people don't want to listen to these actors, these actresses, protecting the media, protecting, yes, the legacy media, and he goes off on that in just a second. Interestingly enough, Will Ferrell, and among other actors out there, other actresses, I think are beginning to cope harder now, because you only have 7 days until you have a new president taking office on January 20th. That's exactly why they are beginning to sound more and more crazy, alright? Now, Will Ferrell likes to call the general public crazy. I think that, is quite frankly the reverse. He is making himself sound more like a lunatic here. But what's interesting about this, yet again, is that he goes on to say that the incoming president is going to take away so many jobs in the film industry. I don't know why so many people in the Hollywood bubble are saying things like this, or even those in the media, like Joy Reid said this, like they are coming after her job and how she's going to be taken out of there. Nobody's doing that. They are doing this to themselves. That's really what it boils down to. A lot of these actors and those in the media, they are doing this all to themselves. That's the truth that they really can't seem to see. Now, he goes on to elaborate further. News channels on television is where it all belongs and should remain and should belong as television exists. This is where my issues with Elon Musk comes into play, he says. Will Ferrell goes on to continue, we are the media now, is what Elon Musk says. Well, come January 20th, they are only going to come out with even more crazy things to say. I ask everyone to trust your gut and to trust the OG media. Programs like CNN, MSNBC, and ABC present just pure facts. They tell it like it is. Now, there's another major mistake that Will Ferrell's saying. He believes that ABC, MSNBC, and CNN deliver pure facts. Well, they deliver nothing but pure lies, to the point where now you have the higher-ups at those studios backtracking on many things that they once believed in or once said, and they are even firing some of their media talents, alright? Even some of those that are very wildly known are getting large pay cuts. He goes on to conclude, but sadly on January 20th, I think that we are going to see a sudden shift where those programs will be punished and actors' jobs will be taken away. It's a sad time to live in, especially with everything else going on in California right now. We need a quick solution, and we need it now when it involves this new presidency. There is too much at stake here when it comes down to the acting business and the film industry. So, again, I think that Will Ferrell is not only coping with the fact that nobody really cares about him anymore after he got way too involved in politics, but quite frankly, I don't know if you guys share my opinion with this, but I never found the guy funny. I never really found his line of work, quote-unquote, air quotes I'm putting out there, as he put it. I never really found the guy all that funny. I mean, sure, he had some funny, hysterical moments in movies like Step Brothers, but aside from, you know, some of the movies and some clips within movies that made you laugh, I just really don't find the guy funny at all. And whether you guys agree with me or disagree with me on that, that's fine. I totally respect it. I mean, that's what this is all about, right? Really protecting common sense and free expression. What's interesting about Will Ferrell is that he really is getting very defensive over the legacy media, what he calls the OG media, is getting so much flack, and rightfully so, by the way, so much criticism because they lied. They lied endlessly, especially within the past 3 months. They really, tripled down on their lies to the point where it almost came across as parody. But yeah, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about Will Ferrell, about all these different actors now coping even harder just 7 days from January 20th. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what happens on January 20th with these actors. Are they going to go silent? Are they going to get more vocal? Who the heck knows at this point? I would definitely say it's going to be the latter. I think that they're going to be very more vocal. They're going to get even more defensive. But overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.